All right, hey everybody, we are back on again with another update. So we had hopped off for a second because all of our severe thunderstorm warnings had expired, but now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued here in South Texas. Now, again, we still have the flash flood warnings in place, but now this new severe thunderstorm warning for DeWitt and Lavaca County has been issued, and guess what? It just went tornado warned right there live on your screen. We now have a tornado warning that has been issued for Cuero for this area of rotation that we've actually been watching a little closely. This is the reason why I wanted to hop on here, not just for the severe thunderstorm warning, but also because we had this rotation that we were watching closely behind the scenes. Now, let me zoom back down to it. Actually, I zoomed out just a bit there. But that rotation is going to be located right over Yorktown. You can see where the winds are going away from the radar, and winds are going towards right here. This is along Highway 72, and this is heading towards Cuero itself. So if you know anybody in that area, please give them a phone call. Tell them to wake up, get to a safe part of their home. We have already had reports of damage tonight. We don't know if it was from a tornado or not just yet, but we've already had reports from some storms causing damage tonight. It's important that everyone takes these storms seriously and gets to their safe spot if they are in Cuero. Again, this area of rotation off to the north and east side of Yorktown, moving along Highway 72 towards Cuero. So I'm bringing up the Facebook Live so I can answer some of your questions. See, some people are saying that they're getting lights back on. Other people are saying that power is still out. Again, if you're just now joining us, we are talking about a tornado warning that is currently in place over towards Cuero. Now, if you're in San Antonio, you still have the flash flood warning, but the stronger storms are now off towards your east. Putting everything into pause, you can kind of see where that notch is. That area of rotation that we're thinking is right here. And it's going to be kind of located right here within the storm. Now, this is moving towards Cuero, and it's going to continue across 183 and then up towards Yorktown. Honestly, it's moving kind of northeast. And with that being said, Yorktown, this may get closer towards you. Now, if you're in Cuero, I still want you to be in your safe spot at an interior room, away from any windows, away from any exterior walls. Remember, you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. You know, we had the report coming out of Helotes earlier of a fence post going through a wall of a home. Think about it like that. That's what you're trying to keep yourself protected from. Whenever we're talking about strong winds moving through, you don't want that debris to blow through the side of the home and then possibly hit you. That's why we say put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That way that debris has to hit more things before it can even get to you. Now, we have meteorologist Megan Massey in house. She's getting ready right now. She actually just hopped off the 10 o'clock news. We're going to be hearing more from her in just a moment. But again, the severe thunderstorm warning was issued first. We hopped on here, and now we've got this tornado warning. So, guys, we're going to stay a little more focused on this. I know a lot of people may be asking questions about certain areas where they're at, but again, this is the only severe warning we have out there right now. This is in place for, again, the Cuero area, DeWitt County, and then it's going to be moving up closer on towards the Yorktown area here over these next few minutes. That's what we're watching really closely here. So, Megan, what mic are you on right now?
I believe Lab 2.
All right, go ahead and talk for me. Check your mic level.
So we should be good with the mic level here.
Yep, all right,
yeah.
Excellent.
So, you know, Andrew, I was talking to you kind of behind the scenes, even during the 10 o'clock newscast about the rotation within the storm near Yorktown.
Yeah, we were watching it closely, and the National Weather Service had actually been mentioning about it too. So
right
after we saw that rotation, the National Weather Service decided to issue that severe thunderstorm warning. We hopped up on here as fast as we could, and then sure enough, within 5 minutes of starting this Facebook Live, we have this tornado warning for Cuero.
So, yeah, if you're in Cuero and you happen to live in central parts of DeWitt County, make sure you head into your safe place. You know, grab the helmets, a baseball helmet, softball helmet, bike helmet, whatever you have to protect your head. Also, keep your pets in mind as well. Yeah,
get your pets to that safe spot too. You know, initiate that that severe weather protocol that you have in your household. What do you do? Where do you go? Know where that place is before these things even happen. Remember, that's the most interior room, lowest level of the home. You want to be in as many walls between you and the outside as possible. A sturdy building. If you're not in a sturdy building yourself, what's the closest one to you? Go find it. Get there as fast as you can. Anybody who may be out driving, tell them to get to where they need to be. Give your friends and family a call if they're in the Cuero area, and let them know that this is happening. This is late at night. We want to make sure our family and friends are aware of what could be going on. You know, it's late at night. Not everyone's going to wake up right away. We want to make sure everyone knows what's going on.
And so it looks like this storm is moving east at 35 miles per hour. So, you know, one thing we've been talking about, you know, Weather Chief Bill Taylor and I, we've been talking about the flood threat. We've also seen, you know, multiple high water rescues right here in Bexar County. So flooding is going to be a concern on top of the tornado warning. So keep in mind, you know, flooding will continue over the next couple of hours. We have that flash flood warning continuing for San Antonio, but this is really a short-lived tornado warning. So we've seen some rotation right around the Yorktown area, and that, of course, is moving toward Cuero. And so the storm is moving, you know, to the east at about 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put a timeline on it. Now, Cuero, this is on your doorstep. If you're not in your safe place right now, you need to get there ASAP because the storm is right on top of you. That area of rotation, I actually want to do it from the area of rotation that we were watching. Sorry, guys, I forgot that it was going to bounce me out there. Let me zoom back in. That area of rotation, not as significant as what it was earlier. You can kind of see it right there north of Yorktown. That's where it was earlier. And then as we move the timeline along, I'm willing to bet it's kind of just kind of faded away right in here. So this
still
area,
something worth watching.
Yeah, still something worth watching. Let's put a timeline on it for our friends in Cuero. It's going to be there at 11:46. Honestly, I think it's going to be there a little bit before then. Our timeline may be off just a bit. I mentioned it earlier. I think it's off by about 10 minutes at some point. So probably within the next 10 minutes, Cuero, this is going to be right on top of you.
And one thing I also want to show, looking at velocity, we're also still looking at high winds approaching Gonzales there.
Yeah.
So some bright pinks within the red, and that's showing, you know, winds moving away from radar, and so that's showing us the high wind gusts. You know, when we saw the brighter blues and the brighter greens, that moved over the Helotes area, kind of the northwestern parts of Bexar County. Even over Hondo hours ago, you know, we saw multiple thunderstorm wind damage reports. So that's something to keep in mind, that wind along the leading edge of these storms will continue to be a main hazard. So heads up to Gonzales, you know, stay inside, away from windows. We have Yorktown under that severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, so, you know, that's the thing. We have the severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning in place right now for the Cuero area, stretching up to Yorktown and Shiner. You're on the edge of this as well. So really strong winds with this, even if you don't have, even if we don't end up having a confirmed tornado on the ground, which right now we are assuming that there is a tornado located within this area of rotation, we at least have some strong winds and frequent lightning. I'm going to zoom out real quick. I'll show you all the lightning we're still dealing with. We still see it in parts of San Antonio too. Really, really strong storms still passing all throughout the region. And again, all these are moving off towards the east, and in about an hour or two, they'll be east of the Kents 5 viewing area.
And so some of you are asking about San Antonio. Is it safe? You know, I think the only thing for San Antonio, they're out of the severe thunderstorm watch. There's no warning in place for San Antonio other than the flash flood warning. So that's going to continue through about 12:15. Andrew just pulled up the severe thunderstorm watch. So the National Weather Service, they have trimmed back a lot of counties in our viewing area, but have also added additional counties east of San Antonio. So San Antonio should be in the clear as far as severe weather, but flooding is ongoing. Since we're looking at showers and storms developing behind the main line, we could see some rainfall rates kind of pick up a little bit, even rainfall amounts.
Yeah, so that's going to be something we're going to have to watch pretty closely. You saw that the line of showers and storm stretches well up the I-35 corridor. Our friends in even up towards Bell County and Temple,
Wichita
Killeen,
Falls, yep.
Wichita Falls, even and way up to the north, they're seeing those showers and storms. So a lot of thunderstorm activity right now along that I-35 corridor in Texas. And this isn't the only day we're going to experience this. We have more showers and storms tomorrow night. Megan, I looked at some of the rainfall totals we've had over the last 24 hours. We have some spots more than 5 inches of rain.
Oh, wow.
So we've had a lot of rainfall, and we've got even more rain coming in for tomorrow night.
So let's go ahead and zoom back in on this tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning. We just talked about Yoakum. Yoakum is not included in the tornado warning, however, still expecting strong wind gusts. Yorktown, this storm is now just northeast of you, so heads up to Cuero. You know, we've been talking about that area and how they should already be in their safe place at this point.
Yeah. I see a question about New Braunfels. Catherine, the answer is you're fine in New Braunfels. New Braunfels is just going to be dealing with a little bit of lightning, rumbles of thunder, and a little bit of rain. So, Catherine, you're fine. You can go to bed if you're worried about any storms in your area. All of this is off to your east and southeast and is moving away from you. So, Yorktown. You're included in the tornado warning, but this area of rotation is honestly now off towards your east. You have some really strong winds in your area at the moment, though. So I would go ahead and stay in your safe spot, even though the rotation is well to your east. Cuero, if that rotation is still holding up, which is not holding up as well on...
Looks like it's weakened the past couple of scans.
It's not holding up as well, but still stay in that safe spot as long as this tornado warning is in place. Is the National Weather Service saying anything? Because honestly, this area of rotation is getting well east into the polygon here, and I'm wondering if they're going to opt to continue with it or let it expire.
So it looks like they're watching another notch along the line just south of the city of Gonzales for some possible rotation. They went ahead and issued a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. So not quite a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado.
Yeah, so that includes Gonzales and Lavaca counties, as well as Fayette County, which is more of the Austin viewing area. But if we zoom out, we'll see that second severe thunderstorm warning, and there it is.
So it's kind of short-lived. I mean, it's only till 12:15 a.m. Let's look at velocity here to see the notch that they're talking about.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Just
so
north of Gonzales.
Some rotation there.
And honestly, something that's a little bit more concerning to me, Megan, if you want to put that in pause, let's go down just a little bit, just south of Gonzales. See where it's really bright pink and white? That's really strong winds. We're going to have really, really strong winds pass along 183 there south of 90, and then eventually pass near Highway 90 between Gonzales and Shiner. Honestly, really close to Gonzales. Guys, that's a really strong wind. If you're in Gonzales, just, you know, even though you don't have a tornado warning over you right now, I would go ahead and head to an interior room of your home.
Definitely. So that's where the high wind gusts are. Of course, a lot of these storms are moving east, so heads up to Shiner and Hallettsville. You could definitely see some high wind gusts moving into your area. Now, the reason why they have that newly issued severe thunderstorm warning is because we're watching some, broad rotation over the Gonzales area. So Gonzales should already be in their safe place, but they went ahead and issued that severe thunderstorm warning, and that will remain in effect until 12:15 a.m. So storms are overall packing a punch, and I have to say I'm very impressed with how this line is just staying together. It looks like it's weakened just a little bit once it got east of Tilden and Pleasanton, and then flared up again.
Yeah, and now the good news is the lightning is a lot. It's not as much in the way of lightning as compared to earlier. That can let us know that the storms are dying out. Now, the reason why we would still have severe thunderstorm warnings, even though the storms are dying out, is outflow from these storms. We could have strong gusts of wind coming out the front of them. We actually had that in Medina County last night as storms died out rapidly as they were moving into Bexar County.
One thing to also point out, we've had some of you comment on our Facebook Live about losing power, some in Castroville and a lot of communities across our region. And You know, a lot of you said your power would be restored right around 11:30, which it's about that time, and I can tell you our power is still out at Kins 5.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the timing would be for, you know, restoring power there, but I'm sure it'll take a little bit of time. And that's one thing, you know, with lightning, just a heads up to Cuero, Gonzales, and Victoria, you have plenty of time. Lightning could cause power outages along with gusty winds.
Right, so just heads up, be ready for that. Make sure your mobile devices are charged.
And one thing to also point out too, I wonder if they are going to extend the flash flood warning just because we're seeing some rain build on the backside of the main line here.
Yeah, because we are still seeing some light to moderate showers here in San Antonio. Flash flooding has already been a concern. You know, I was looking at some of the creeks and around the San Antonio area, and some of them have risen significantly in the last few hours. Salado Creek, northeast of 410, has risen, you know, more than 4 inches. Excuse me, 4 feet. That lets you know that the water is rising rapidly on some of these creeks, and it's good to just stay away from them right now.
Pauline saying, I barely got home just before it started. Stay safe, everyone. Glad that you got home safe. Yeah, it's definitely not a great time to be out on the roadways. Of course, we still have that tornado warning in place for DeWitt County, and that's going to continue until about 11:45. So a little over 10 minutes on that tornado warning. The severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Cuero and moving east at 40 miles per hour. So still a lot quicker. I think the line overall is still pretty healthy at this point. Of course, we had, you know, the massive severe thunderstorm, those massive polygons, they were allowed to expire. So we don't have any severe storms over San Antonio. The only warning we have in place in Bexar County would be that flash flood warning. So the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings we're watching along with that tornado warning, that includes Cuero. So that's where that tornado warning currently is. We'll go ahead and zoom into that just in case some of you lose power because of a lot of lightning. It looks like it's in downtown Cuero right now.
Yeah, the strongest part of the storm now moving into Cuero, so be in that safe spot. Again, the rotation has weakened, but the tornado warning continues there for your area. It's going to be moving through Cuero within the next 3 minutes if it's not already on top of you.
And one thing to point out, Yorktown in the clear of both warnings. So the National Weather Service, they have trimmed Yorktown not only out of the tornado warning, but also out of the severe thunderstorm warning.
Right.
But Cuero still included. So there's 87 there, 183, and where they cross is where you can see that warning is currently. Very noisy storms, though, just seeing a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. We had an incredible light show over Bexar County, even here at the station. You know, I bet that's definitely the reason for our power outage, too.
I see Government Canyon area got hit. Fences
torn
off. Trampolines blown away, Wild Horse subdivision, a house lost their roof and broke a wall. Oh, wow.
So we have Patsy saying rain is now little to nothing in the south side of San Antonio, so that's good.
Yeah, great to hear.
How's 90 and 1604? It's really just light to moderate rain at this point. What we're really focused on is this tornado warning that continues for under 10 minutes now. So that's for DeWitt County. Interested to see what velocity looks like here.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the National Weather Service is going to let this one expire. It looks like the rotation has weakened, which is good news. That's what we like to hear. I'd imagine they let it expire. I'd still take it seriously in Cuero. Stay in that safe spot, but I'm willing to bet that it won't continue. They won't extend the warning for further on down the line.
And as far as the wind gusts we were talking about, let's cruise north toward Gonzales. Still looking at pretty bright pinks there. So wouldn't be surprised to have, you know, maybe even 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Yeah, really strong wind gusts right there along 183 just south of Gonzales. I think that's where the strongest of the winds are. It does look like the winds have weakened a little bit compared to earlier. You know, something that we've noticed too, the storms, I mentioned that the lightning was not as frequent. I really do think these storms are starting to die, which is good. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be home free there, Hallettsville. I think you're still going to get some heavy rain. I think you're still going to have some lightning, but as far as the severe risk, I think it will be lower for you. That's good. So that's good news, but you are going to get a little bit of rain and a little bit of lightning and gusty winds.
Right, so you were talking about Hallettsville and also looking west toward Shiner. They've had a little brief shower move through already. That's ahead of the main line. So you'll notice the line moving through. Probably even see pretty good structure with clouds, honestly, especially with wind. So you'd probably see the clouds turning a little bit eerie, and of course the lightning strikes. You'll definitely notice the lightning in the distance, and you know it getting closer and closer.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of lightning with these storms. We're still seeing lightning strikes every once in a while here at in the medical center area of San Antonio. If you watch the traffic loop just below us, you'll see a little bit of lightning here and there. I mean, this has been pretty frequent here in town, and now that the line is actually starting to die out itself, I'm willing to bet that we see less and less lightning ourselves. Check out I-10 at La Cantera, soaking wet.
Oh, wow.
I-10 at Ralph Fair, pretty wet as well. Lots of water on the roadway, guys. Not the best night to be out driving. It's best to just kind of get where you got to be and stay there.
And of course, we have had a lot of thunderstorm wind damage. We were talking about, you know, significant wind damage to an area in Helotes right around 8 p.m. So, you know, roof blown off, windows broken. We talked about that during the 10 o'clock newscast tonight. So we've definitely seen some wind reports, and wouldn't be surprised if we see additional reports, you know, come in tonight and into Monday.
Yeah, I mean, once the sun comes up, more people are going to put eyes on their property, and they're going to see that there was damage. And I'm willing to bet that too, Megan, that we get more reports of damage come sunrise on Monday, especially from the Helotes area. We had some really strong winds go through Helotes around 8 o'clock, and that caused that damage, where we had the report of the roof blown off the house and fence post blown into the wall of a home. I mean, that's pretty serious stuff.
And that's where we had the tornado warning in effect earlier.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one thing with that report, and we were looking at this with the National Weather Service chat, and again, we're talking about the Helotes area, but the two houses next to, you know, right on the sides of that one house, they only had some minor damage, but the one in the middle just received the significant wind damage.
Oh, goodness.
So that is something, you know, they're probably going to look at that and survey it over the next day or two. So we'll definitely keep track of that for sure.
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep everybody informed as well. What's the latest on that on the velocity near Cuero? Because it looks like there could be a little bit of a notch there again, but it's just what I see on reflectivity. Sometimes reflectivity can only show you so much. You have to look at velocity to get a good idea of what the rotation looks like, and it doesn't look that impressive.
It doesn't look that impressive. What's more impressive is near Gonzales.
Yeah, those strong winds, those are pretty serious.
So that's more impressive to me. So could possibly have some maybe tree limbs blown down, and so that is something that we'll watch here. Yeah,
it could lead to a little bit of power outages as well. So remember, please, charge those phones. Make sure that you continue to have a way to get updates. The storms, now well east of Seguin. Seguin, you just got a few rumbles of thunder and some rain on the roof. Nixon, same for you. Floresville, same. Lavernia, New Braunfels, quieter weather expected the rest of the night. These stronger storms now over towards Gonzales, Yorktown, Cuero. If you're west of those areas, quieter weather settling in.
So Tim said winds are starting to pick up in Cuero and temp dropping fast. Definitely believe that. That's where we are looking at, that tornado warning in place, and that will continue over the next couple of minutes. So let's zoom back down into Cuero. There is that tornado warning for DeWitt County. This continues through 11:45, so about 3 minutes, a little less than that for this tornado warning. So if you're in Cuero, like Tim and some of you were talking about how you're in Cuero, I think Lisa had mentioned it. Yeah, just stay inside, stay away from windows because wind gusts can also cause some damage. So we just want you guys to stay safe with that warning.
Yeah, these storms have had a history of causing damage this evening. We haven't had much in the way of hail. Hail has not been a big concern. We had a lot of questions on Facebook Live earlier tonight. What about the hail? What about the hail? But that really hasn't been much of a concern. We only had one report of large hail. That was at Gardner State Park. If you don't know where that is, that's off towards the hill country. And it was about 1.25 inches large. So I believe that's about half dollar size of the report.
So we have Crystal asking about Carnes. So by the way, this is an update. They have expired that tornado warning over Cuero. However, the severe thunderstorm warning will continue until midnight. Let's go south here, southwest, and look at Carnes. So there's Carnes City. It looks like we're just looking at, light and moderate rain. So the more heavy rain and more of that wind threat east of Carnes City and also east of Carnes.
Yeah, so quieter weather settling in for Carnes City now.
So Lisa, yes, you're in Cuero. So that's tornado warning was allowed to expire, but you guys still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect through midnight.
Yeah, and here's the thing. That tornado warning has expired, but Cuero, you're just now getting the strongest part of the storm. So you're about to have really strong winds, frequent lightning, and heavy rainfall. So no more tornado. That's the good news. But strong winds, definitely going to be a bit of an issue there for our friends in Cuero. Heavy rainfall also stretches up towards Yorktown. Definitely messy conditions along 183, stretching all the way up into Gonzales. You notice that the severe thunderstorm warning is also in place for Gonzales, stretching on over towards the east, towards Moulton. Schulenburg, not included in this, but I'm sure this stronger storm, as long as it holds together, will have that possibility of that extended severe thunderstorm warning towards Schulenburg. But right now, again, you are not included. A lot of heavy rainfall associated with these. Flash flooding has been a little bit of a concern just because we've had so much rain. Some areas, Megan, have seen already 5 inches of rainfall in the last 24 hours.
Incredible rainfall amounts. And, we've been looking at a few Twitter accounts, one that's automatic and it has rain gauges across South Texas. And we've seen rainfall rates up to, 2.5 inches per hour. So just crazy rainfall rates, hence all the flash flood warnings that we've had in place tonight and that are still in place. So I do want to answer, Diana, how do I find out about road closures? Well, if you're talking about road closures due to flooding in Bexar County, just go to bearflood.org. Again, that's bearflood.org. And you can find out, updated and reliable information there with the city.
Nice. CBS Energy, I know they've been working hard. Their outage map had a lot of outages on it earlier on.
Yeah.
Now that the lightning is starting to calm down in the city, I think the crews will be able to get out there and restore a lot of the power. That lightning was lingering on for a while, so it's hard for power crews to get up there and fix the power issues whenever we've got lightning still in the area. But I now think that power crews are going to be a little bit in better shape to get some of the power back restored to a lot of our neighbors here across the city.
Do you foresee any flight cancellations? I think once that main line moved through, likely delays, but as far as cancellations, not that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, this line is still packing a punch. Of course, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in place. The main concerns with this being 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Could maybe even see, half-inch size hail. So less than quarter size. So really small hail with these storms. In fact, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's been looking at, the hail tracker during the 10 o'clock newscast, and we have not seen that much hail within this line.
These storms are dying right here, too. Look at the reflectivity drop right there. When we're talking about reflectivity, we're talking about the returns for the radar, which is letting us know about rain. You notice the green starting to pop up there, and the yellows, oranges, and reds, all up in between it there for areas where we have the severe thunderstorm warning. Now, sometimes that can signify that there's winds coming in behind the storm, going down to the surface and causing straight line wind issues. I don't think that's the situation here. I think these storms are actually dying. Now, that would make sense why there were stronger winds with them earlier on, because all that wind from way up high in the storm comes down to the surface and pushes down. But I think these storms are really starting to collapse on us, which is good news.
And I'm looking at a few more Facebook comments, and we have Randy Harkey Jr. saying Gonzales, Texas, winds are extreme as well as the rain. So that was from a couple of minutes ago that he had commented that. Let us know your reports. Let us know what you're seeing out there. Of course, what you're safely seeing. There's a lot of cloud to ground lightning. Andrew's been turning lightning on and off just to give you an idea of if storms are weakening, if they're strengthening, and that is something that we look at. So watch for the lightning. You know, stay inside. Lightning is not something you want to mess with.
Yeah, it's killer. I mean, it's very dangerous. Want to make sure everyone stays safe.
So Susan Edwards says this was a bad one. We live in the northwest area near the medical center in San Antonio. We had no power from 8:20 p.m. It finally came back on at 11 p.m. Happy to know that you guys have power. You know, we're not far. You know, we're right in the heart of the medical center, and we're still out of power here at KENS 5.
Well, I hope that our house has power. Right now, our dog is in the closet. He's got water. He's got food. But it's his little safe spot during tornado warnings, and we always put him in there because we both have to be at the station whenever we have severe weather. But hopefully the power's back on so we can sit there and relax listening to Jack Johnson. We turn on some music for him whenever he's in there.
That's his favorite.
Yeah.
We have Patsy saying rain picked back up on the south side. Yeah, we're still looking at a few showers developing on the back side of the main line. So that's why we're still thinking flooding would be a concern here. Catherine Garcia saying flipped our trampoline at Calabria and 211. Yeah, we just had some strong wind gusts move through earlier. We have John Jackson saying, yes, I am okay, just now getting the rain in Cuero. So really getting the high wind gusts too around our eastern counties. Hence those severe thunderstorm warnings in place. As far as any, some of you are asking if a tornado was confirmed in the Alamo Ranch area. The National Weather Service, along with emergency management, they'll probably send out a team and within the next day or so, of course, when the sun is up on Monday, and they'll probably survey some damage. So we'll let you know of that. If there's any, confirmation of anything, we'll definitely let you know. At this time, we're only thinking damaging wind gust. But of course, we've had several tornado warnings tonight and late afternoon, so we'll definitely keep you updated on that.
Yep, keep a close eye on that. We do have another round of strong storms and severe weather possible for tomorrow, so we're going to be watching that as well. But Megan, we just got a new tornado warning. Northeast of Gonzales, that area of rotation we were watching earlier.
So let's zoom in on this tornado warning. Again, brief spin of tornadoes. Looks like it's moving toward I-10 here, so it could cross at any time now. Fayette and Gonzales counties, you are under a tornado warning through 12:15 a.m. Of course, the worst time to have a tornado warning during the evening hours.
Yeah.
So definitely put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And the best situation and the best thing to do is not panic when you have a tornado warning. But basically just be prepared and have that plan in place.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and take a look at velocity, get an idea where this area of rotation actually is. There it is. Let me go ahead and circle that for everybody. Notice right here near Walder, northeast of Saturn. This is again moving off towards the north. I'll go ahead and draw a circle around it for everybody. That little thing right there.
That little notch.
That little notch. That could very well be a tornado that's on the ground. It's held together here for a few of the scans on the radar, and I'd say that's a good call in the National Weather Service. That is I would say that there could very well be a tornado there. It would be crossing I-10 near Walder. Right there, what's that road it's moving up? Highway 97. So it's moving up 97, crossing right there at that exit.
So let's put a tracker on this. We know the storm. We're going to zoom out a little bit, try not to move radar around that much, but it is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. This kind of gives you an idea of where the storm is headed. So like Andrew was saying, we're tracking that notch. So let's say if this notch were to hold together, let's put a timing here.
So right there, and guys, I'm going to probably mispronounce this school, so you have to hold on with me, but the Bunchi School, or Bunch School, is going to be hitting there at about midnight. If you know, if you're familiar with this area, you know how to pronounce that school name, and you know what I'm talking about. But the Walder area at about midnight itself.
So let's go back to radar just to show you where that tornado warning is. So we have that tornado warning in place through 12:15. Again, the storm is moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So a pretty slow moving storm. We'll zoom out just a little bit to give you an idea of what counties are included under this warning. So we have Fayette, we have Gonzales counties included here, and a few other counties. But I know some of you have been commenting on our Facebook Live saying you just received a tornado warning alert on your phone. So happy that you have those alerts on your phone. Trying to get National Weather Service chat up and going again, but...
Yeah, sometimes it'll log you off, so we're working on getting back. We always like to keep in contact with the National Weather Service. We'll tell them what we see, they tell us what they see, and it's kind of like a team effort. We're all working towards a common goal, and that's keeping everybody informed and safe during severe weather. But you'll notice that we still have the tornado warnings and the severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Again, down towards Cuero, there is still a severe thunderstorm warning that is in place until about midnight. So you're not out of the woods yet. Still have a little bit of a storm down towards your region as well. That's just going to be kind of what we're watching here over the next really about 15 to 30 minutes are the strong storms that continue to pass through.
So for those of you that probably received the alert on your phone, the tornado warning includes east central Caldwell County, south central Bastrop County, northeastern Gonzales County, southwestern Fayette County, and northwestern Lavaca County. So you can see that polygon, and it only includes, you know, some areas. So I think the biggest thing that we have to worry about is the town that this circulation is closest to. And of course, it looks like the circulation and the rotation within the storm could pass over I-10 any moment now.
Yeah, it will. And if you know anybody driving I-10 late tonight, of course not many people on the road tonight, but if you know anybody driving it, call them, tell them to pull over in a safe spot. We don't want anybody on I-10 right now putting themselves in danger. That's anywhere between Luling and Schulenburg, to be honest. That's where we want you to be pulled over and in your safe spot. And remember, being in a car is not a good place to be whenever we're talking about tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings.
So it looks like it's mainly eastern Gonzales County. And then it's also moving east at 35 miles per hour into Fayette County. So really on the eastern edge of our viewing area. Yeah,
and so it's going to continue here for about another 15 minutes. I'm willing to bet. Let's see the rotation again, see if it's holding together, because now we've had a few more rotation scans here. Still looks like there could be a little bit of rotation there.
So let's scroll down to Cuero, because a lot of you are asking about the Cuero area. Is it safe to come out of your safe place? I know Missy Chestnut was asking. Update on Cuero, they're still under that severe thunderstorm warning, but they're not under that tornado warning. So it looks like high wind gusts will be the biggest concern, and also frequent lightning. Maybe could even have some flash flooding since storms aren't moving too quickly.
Yeah, and you know, I mentioned it earlier. How sometimes storms out ahead of severe thunderstorm warnings, a line of storms, can get sucked in, and then you could get a little bit of rotation from that. I think that's what happened here. We had a storm kind of get sucked in to the main line, and then we had some rotation, and there you have it, tornado warning. These are usually brief spin-up tornadoes, but if we do have a confirmed tornado in this area, but it's definitely something you want to take seriously. So they're right there along I-10 west of Schulenburg. And
Kirsten is asking, when will the bad weather hit tomorrow, being Memorial Day? I work until 7:30 p.m. in San Antonio. Similar to today, we're still looking at the time frame being late afternoon and through the evening hours for another wave of showers and storms to move through. In fact, a lot of us still under that level 2 slight risk moving into Monday. And the reason why we're under that level 2 slight risk on Monday being tomorrow is because, we could see some severe storms pop up once again. Primary concern tomorrow will be the high wind gusts, but definitely thinking, late afternoon and evening hour time frame. So I hope that helps with your question there.
Yeah, and some good news to report is that this severe thunderstorm warning in Cuero looks like it's about to expire. And with that being said, it's just going to be run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, it looks like, in Cuero once this severe thunderstorm warning expires. So probably just some gusty winds, some frequent lightning, and some heavy rainfall for our friends in the Cuero area. And there you see it, the severe thunderstorm warning just expired, but the severe thunderstorm warning for Gonzales into Lavaca County still continues until 12:15 this morning.
And so Debbie Patrick, that answers your question hopefully about DeWitt County. So we no longer have that tornado warning for DeWitt, and also we no longer have that severe thunderstorm warning. So at this point it just looks like a lot of lightning and heavy rain and gusty winds, but still below severe limits in Cuero.
Right. So something we'll continue to watch closely. And man, the lightning is just decreasing rapidly with these storms.
And I know some of you are asking about an update on San Antonio, so we still have, lingering showers producing some cloud-to-ground lightning strikes over Bexar County, so probably still seeing some flashing outside of your window. We have that flash flood warning in place through 12:15, and I would be curious to know if they, extend that for maybe an hour or so.
Yeah, just because we still have a little bit of rain that is falling in parts of the city, so again, flooding is one of the main concerns here over these next few hours. That's not next few hours, next few days, because we have had a lot of rainfall here, not just tonight, but we're going to have heavy rain again tomorrow night, and it's been a bit of an issue. We knew that we were going to get a lot of rain. We knew that some areas were going to see 3 to 5 inches of rain. We knew some areas were going to see even more, and honestly, some areas just got 3 to 5 inches of rain today alone. We could see an additional 3 inches tomorrow.
I think so too. And we were just talking about the time frame. Late afternoon and through the evening hours. Similar to today, we'll be watching showers and storms flare up. I would say, closer to about 5, 6, 7 p.m. in the afternoon, early evening. The good news is we have a lot of newscasts on Monday. We have the 4, 5, 6, and 10 p.m. newscast. So Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he'll be talking all about the weather for Memorial Day and give you a heads up of anything that, may flare up over South Texas. So tomorrow being Memorial Day, I would say just watch for any cloud-to-ground lightning. KENS 5 app, free radar, super convenient to have in your back pocket. You can keep track of storms wherever you are, and that's something to watch out for tomorrow.
Yeah, and more good news to come in here though for tonight. These stronger storms are really starting to get east of San Antonio and east of the KENS 5 viewing area, and they're pretty much outside of this. So unless there's a new severe thunderstorm warning or a new tornado warning issued after this one, once it expires at 12:15 a.m., we'll probably go ahead and get ready to sign off of here. Now, here's what's important to know. There's still going to be some more rain tonight that we're going to be watching closely. I also want to check the river stages again while we're talking about it. We're still going to keep a close eye on this tornado warning, but again, it's north of I-10, and it's honestly starting to move outside of the KENS 5 viewing area as well. right, so I'm getting an idea here, guys, at some of the creek levels and river levels. The Salado Creek at Loop 13 has risen about 4 feet. Hold on, we're getting some information on the Blanco. All right, so this is important to know. The Blanco River is now expected to crest at 10:15 later tonight. That's the Blanco River near Fisher. At 10 feet, here's what typically happens. Overbank conditions may cut off livestock in low areas. By 12 feet, lowest bridges and roadways along the river will begin to flood, but again, we are expected to stay 2 feet below that. I'm just listing that off just so y'all know in case the forecast does change a little bit. Onion Creek up in Austin is expected to flood. That is a creek that is typical whenever we have heavy rain events. That is a creek that will typically flood. I used to work up in the Austin area before I moved down here, and I can tell you that is a creek that we covered a lot. I'm checking a few of other rivers and creeks around town. I know that we have some people camping along the Guadalupe River this weekend. So far, so good. I don't see any issues along the river. The Guadalupe River and the Comal are both behaving themselves, but the water is rising a little bit. It's not rising so rapidly that I think that we're going to have a flood concern. I think the river will stay below flood stage, but know that the river will flood just a bit.
So what I want to do is take it down into Atascosa County, near Pleasanton, south of San Antonio. Angie, I just want to let you know that right now. I know your phone's about to die. So right now we're just looking at moderate rain. We're not looking at a tornado threat for your area. In fact, most of the activity is well east of you. So it's mainly where we're looking at all the bright reds and the oranges and the yellows. That's where we have that severe weather threat. And you know, the National Weather Service, they have trimmed back a lot of counties with this severe thunderstorm watch. So Atascosa County, south of San Antonio, and this even includes San Antonio, you are not under that severe thunderstorm watch. So hopefully you can sleep peacefully. Hopefully a few rumbles of thunder won't wake you up too bad tonight, but we still have that severe thunderstorm watch that'll continue for our eastern counties. So I just want to answer that. I know some of you have phones that are about to die because we have a lot of power outages across our area, so I just want to give you that update. We're not looking at a tornado threat in your area, Angie. Go ahead, were you going to say something?
Yeah, we have, Marlene and Walder in Gonzales County. She says it's very loud, and very scary. The good news is that rotation is looking a little bit weaker. Still a very strong storm, though, moving through your area. I mean, looking at the rotation, not really anything there anymore. That's the good news. But still some very strong winds passing through northern Gonzales County, really eastern to northern Gonzales County. And that's going to lead to possibly a little bit in the way of frequent lightning. We're going to have frequent lightning. We're going to have heavy rain. It's going to make for a lot of noise outside. Sorry for all the movement there on the radar, guys. But, yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now in northern Gonzales County. Kind of the worst of the storm. That's the good news. It's the worst of it. So give it about 15 minutes and things will really quiet down.
Yeah, so again, the most activity that we're looking at is really just where we're looking at the bright red. So for you in Seguin, New Braunfels, and San Marcos along the I-35 corridor, until you get up into Austin, they're still looking at, some high wind gusts there. But, at this point, we're mainly looking at, pockets of moderate rain. Of course, we still have that tornado warning that's in effect through 12:15. So, a little less than 10 minutes on this tornado warning. Let's go and look at velocity here.
Yeah, so again, really heavy rainfall. This is all moving along I-10. That's going to be a really messy road for the rest of the night. If you're traveling between San Antonio and Houston, because these storms are heading towards Houston. You see that we still have some rain in San Antonio. There were water rescues in the Almost Basin area. That's pretty serious, you know, having multiple water rescues reported. Remember, stay out of flooded areas. We don't want anybody putting themselves in danger. Still a lot of heavy rain, still a lot of lightning in some areas, and strong winds. I mean, right there in Gonzales County, that's where we're seeing the strongest of winds at the moment. No other severe thunderstorm warnings, though, in South Texas. It's just this one. Now, we do have one, I will say, down towards Corpus Christi. So I'll say the Kent 5 viewing area parts of South Texas. But inside of our viewing area, like the Gonzales area, this is the last warning that we have in place, at least for right now.
So it looks like the rotation within that tornado warning has weakened just a little bit. In fact, they have let that tornado warning go. So for those of you in eastern Gonzales County, a little worried there about that tornado warning, we've seen some of your comments. It looks like it's been allowed to expire there.
Randy says, rain just stopped in Gonzales and wind has died down too. Thanks, guys. Going to bed. Randy, great to hear. Yeah. You're good. The stronger part of the storm has moved out of your region. There's no longer a tornado warning. It may still be on the screen just because our system hasn't updated yet, but the tornado warnings are done. The severe thunderstorm warning is still in place, but for Gonzales itself, not Gonzales County, Gonzales the town, things are quieter, a little bit of rain on the roof, a little bit of rumbles of thunder, really good sleeping weather. That's what I'm looking forward to here probably in about 2 hours myself.
Yeah, so they've let the tornado warning expire for Bastrop, Caldwell, Fayette, Gonzales, and Lavaca counties. So the tornado warning no longer in place. I know it's still on our screen, but it's taking some time there. So it'll probably hop off our screen here in the next couple of minutes. They are going to continue with a severe thunderstorm warning. They're going to let the warning expire as well, as what they're saying.
Yeah, so guys, once these two warnings expire, we're probably going to go ahead and hop off of here. It'll be expired here within the next 5 minutes. Here's what we want you to know, though, before we even hop off. We're going to continue to watch this behind the scenes. Again, a lot of the storms are pretty much out of the area anyway. Cuero, still a lot of heavy rain over you. Victoria, about to get the first hit of showers and storms in your area, but the storms down towards Victoria, not too much of a concern there, not seeing anything severe. Just a lot of heavy rain, strong winds, and frequent lightning. That's what a majority of the area of east of I-35 is dealing with right now. The good news is, though, severe weather, not as much of a concern. We're going to stay on here for about 4 more minutes just in case something does pop up because, guys, again, if we do hop off and something severe occurs, we're going to hop right back on. That's what we did just a moment ago. You know, we hopped off when all the severe weather was done, and then we had the severe thunderstorm warning issued around Cuero. We hopped on, and that's why we stay on. We want to make sure everyone keeps informed and safe during these storms. Still a lot of power outages around San Antonio. I think that they're going to be getting those fixed, though, over the next couple of hours. And
not to mention, some of you, like Angie, are saying it's very, very loud where you are. Well, it's really just all the frequent lightning that we're looking at. You know, lightning is still a main hazard with this, even though there's no severe thunderstorm warning in place. Just know that lightning, it's going to make it seem pretty loud. We also have wind gusts up to 50, even 55 miles per hour in some communities as well. And that, of course, is over Gonzales, down into Cuero, and also into Victoria, wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour possible for you. We're right on the tier of that severe thunderstorm criteria. So not exactly severe thunderstorm, but still enough to take it seriously.
Yeah, so really strong storms that pass through tonight. Again, we are going to have another chance for strong to severe storms move through tomorrow night. It's going to be something we're going to watch very closely.
So I knew that they were going to do this, but they did extend the flash flood warning, and it looks like they're going to extend it for another hour for Bexar County.
Yeah, you'd been talking about that, and that's because we still have a little bit of rain falling in Bexar County. All that water still funneling into the creeks and rivers around the area, and that's why we still have that flash flood warning in place for another hour.
So I know we've had multiple high water rescue reports too. are we going to have this bad of weather tomorrow? So we are still under that level 2 slight risk for Memorial Day.
Which is what we were under tonight.
Exactly. And so we're still looking at the same time frame, late afternoon and through the evening hours as far as that severe weather threat. I know some weather models showing another wave, another line moving through. So that's something we'll watch tomorrow evening. Of course, it's Monday, so we have 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock newscasts. So we'll have updates there.
My arm's about to be shaken off by my watch because another flash flood warning was extended again for Bexar County. Here's the deal. If you have any plans for Memorial Day, if you have any special, some really important plans for Memorial Day to head outside and have a meaningful Memorial Day, you're going to have the better chance for drier weather in the latter part of the morning, early part of the afternoon. Notice how I said better chance. I'm not guaranteeing you dry weather. We're still going to have that possibility for isolated to scattered showers and storms. It's just the more widespread rain moves in for the latter part of the afternoon and into the evening.
So rain is still coming down and winds are still strong, but I do feel safer. So thank you guys. Glad that you feel safe. Yeah, we want to walk you through this. Julie saying Universal City is still getting hit hard. Daniel saying be safe out there. Erica Lee just got on. What are Cuero and DeWitt County, what does it look like for us? So as far as Cuero, still a lot of cloud to ground lightning. In fact, we do have that significant weather advisory in place, and that's going to include Gonzales, Fayette, Lavaca, Bastrop, and Caldwell counties through 1 a.m. So we have about 45 minutes with that. Winds up to 40 miles per hour will be possible with these storms. So we're below that severe thunderstorm criteria. So in Cuero and DeWitt County, we're not looking at any severe thunderstorm warnings in place. But yeah, we'll definitely watch that.
All right. And guys, the severe threat has officially expired. Now, the severe warnings, rather, have expired. The threat is still there for the possibility of strong winds and frequent lightning, heavy rainfall. We'll be watching this behind the scenes. We're actually about to sign off here in just a moment. We'll jump back on if we feel like it's needed. Much of the showers and storms, or rather the stronger part of the storms, are moving out of the region now. But if another warning is issued, we'll of course hop back on here, keep everybody informed. Megan, you did a great job earlier. A lot of people were commenting on here talking about saying thank you. And
great.
Like this, the second you left to go cover on-air stuff, people were like, man, Megan did a phenomenal job. So
thank y'all so much.
Great job by Weather Chief Bill Taylor. And then by all of our news team who's been running around gathering information about all the rain that we've had. Shout out to them. Shout out to our engineers for coming in and helping us fix little issues here and there.
Our directors, they're doing a great job.
We had power outages here at the station. They handled that well. And yeah, big shout out to the directors. They're still in. I just saw Sean walk into the newsroom. I saw him in the window.
Hey, Sean.
Sean, we're giving you a shout out on Facebook Live. He, there's a lot of people who are behind the scenes who make all this work. And Sean is one of them who hung out, him and our other director, Ray, who we're seeing he's in the studio right now, getting everything shaped up. And thanks to both of y'all for all the hard work you do. But guys, we're signing off here. Have a great one. We'll jump back on if we feel like it's needed and keep you informed throughout the night.